What if I told you that there is a way that you can run ads on the Google Display Network that you can pay only if you get a conversion, and you only pay the price that you want to pay for that conversion? And if you don't get any conversions, the impressions and clicks are free. Sounds a little bit crazy, right? But that's exactly what pay-for-conversion campaigns are in the Google Display Network. So today, I want to talk through one of these really cool campaign types. I think they're great for people who are a little bit weary of getting into Google Display advertising. Maybe you feel like it's not the right fit. Maybe you don't have a lot of experience with it, but hopefully these can kind of ease you into it a little bit and do it in a way that you're guaranteed conversions or you don't pay. Kind of hard to beat that, right? So today I want to talk about what the guidelines are for pay-for-conversion campaigns, how you have to actually qualify for them, how to set them up, and some of the different settings that you can use, and then some tips and tricks to get the most out of the campaigns, whether you're getting conversions or not. Let's hop in. The first thing to know about pay-for-conversion campaigns is that your account has to meet certain requirements for you to be eligible to even use this campaign type. The first is that you need to have at least 100 conversions in the past 30 days. So based on your account, your conversion setup, you need to have 100 conversions in the past 30 days because Google is going to use this to make some smart choices about who they're serving ads to try to get those conversions for your campaigns. The next thing you need to know about those conversions is that 90% of them need to have happened within a 7-day click window. So from the moment that somebody clicks your ad, they need to convert in the 7-day window after that conversion. So let's hop into Google Ads and I'll show you where you can find if your account is meeting this standard. In Google Ads, we need to come to this conversion attribution model. Up in Tools and Settings, just head over to Attribution, which is where I am now. And then it will default you to Overview, but we need to go down to Path Metrics. And then this number here in blue is what you need to see. So the account that I'm in, there are about a half a day from when somebody clicks on the ad to when they eventually convert. If your account shows that this number is anywhere below 7, you should meet this requirement. The next requirement has to do with the type of conversions that you're using. Pay-for-conversion campaigns will not work if you have offline conversions added into your account. That doesn't mean whether you're using them for this campaign or not. It's if they are in your account at all. There is a pretty easy way to tell if you have those in place. In the Google Ads interface, you just want to head up to your conversion manager. So it's right here under measurement. And what you want to pay attention to is this source column. So right now we've got website, Salesforce, analytics, all this stuff. If you have any conversions in here and the source says that it is import from clicks or store visits, you will not be eligible for pay for conversion campaigns. So you need to choose whether or not you want to keep that conversion action and forfeit your right to use pay for conversions, or if you're willing to delete that conversion action so you can run pay for conversion campaigns if you meet the other criteria. Once you meet these 3 criteria, these are the big sticking points when it comes to pay for conversions, but there is one other way that you may not be eligible, and that is for undisclosed reasons, and they literally are that vague. There are cases where an account will be rejected for pay for conversions just for some reason that Google doesn't tell you what it is. This is refreshed daily, so you can go back in and check. Maybe you reach out to support, try to find out what's going on. Your eligibility can change on each day, but Google does reserve the right to basically reject you from using pay for conversions for effectively no reason, at least none that they're willing to disclose to us. So keep in mind, this is a very real option. But let's say, for sake of the rest of this video, that you do qualify for pay for conversions, because why would you be watching this video otherwise? So now I just want to run through what it looks like to set this campaign type up. So let's go ahead and just create a new campaign. Pay for conversion campaigns are eligible to use either the sales, leads, or website traffic campaign goal. Or you can create a campaign without goal guidance, which is what I'm going to do here. Next, we want to choose display because that's the type of campaign we're setting up. Then you get to choose what type of campaign you want to use. Pay for conversion campaigns will work with either a smart display campaign or a standard display campaign. Pick whichever one you want. Smart display campaigns, we have a video about those if you want to check that out. But for today, I'm just going to run through a standard display campaign setup. Then we scroll down to the bottom, you add in your website, and click continue. So once you get through that first step, now we just set up our campaign like we normally would. So I'm just going to give it a placeholder name. You can then set up your locations, languages just the same way you normally would. But the section that's going to change how we pay for our campaigns, how we do pay for conversions as opposed to regular pay per click, is going to live in this bidding section. I'll get back to this stuff up here at the top, but down here at the bottom, this is where we're going to actually set things up. So pay for, and then you get to choose from either conversions, clicks, or viewable impressions. So this is basically a CPM model, CPC model, and pay for conversion model. If your account is eligible, you will see this drop down and conversions will be an option. If your account is not, typically you will see this come in and it'll only show pay for clicks and there won't be a gray drop down here. If that's what you're seeing, this is basically the only way to know if your account is eligible for pay for conversion campaigns, is if you start to set up a display campaign and this pay for option lets you choose conversions out of this drop down. So now that we've done that, there are a few things that I want to talk through up here for you to keep in mind. What you want to focus on, you can either choose conversions or conversion value, but if you choose conversion value, you will no longer be paying for conversions. So for a pay for conversion campaign, this has to be set at conversions. You then have to choose that you want to automatically maximize conversions. If you go to manually set bids, that option goes away and you don't get to set up a pay for conversion campaign. So make sure that you have automatically maximized conversions here. And then you'll notice that it still doesn't have this section down here that we want at the bottom. You have to choose set a target cost per action for your account. So effectively what you see here with conversions chosen, automatically maximize conversions, and then this blue checkbox checked, this is the setup you have to have for a pay for conversions campaign. And then make sure you've chosen your pay for conversions down here. Google will then automatically suggest a cost per action that you put in place here based on your current campaign performance. There is a little bit of a wonky thing that Google has where they've set an arbitrary threshold in their support section that talks about a $200 CPA, and it looks like this. If you read through this whole paragraph, Google is basically saying that you can set your target CPA to less than $200, but if you set it to over $200, then you're going to pay more than $200 for a cost per conversion. Yeah, we get that. That's why we set the high cost per conversion goal in the first place. So what you'll notice is when I set this target CPA higher than $200, Google's going to freak out a little bit. So let's just hit apply to the 250 mark that it gave me. And now Google is telling me that the pay for conversions target CPA is limited to $200. So then you can click apply. And now it suggests again that the $250 is what we should be using. This happens just because this account has a higher target CPA than what Google is used to. But keep in mind that there will be this back and forth. In this instance, I would set this target CPA at the $200 mark, start it off, see what performance comes through, and if need be, you can increase it to $250 later. But given that there's this strange flux of this $200 mark, I want to just stick with what Google has here. Then to fill out your campaigns, all you need to do is select your budget. You can then set up all of the different targeting options that you would have for any of these other campaigns. So setting up your audiences based on anything you've got here, demographics. If you want to do content targeting, you can choose keywords, topics, placements, just like normal. Create your ads. And then once you have all of that set up, just the same way you would with a regular campaign, because remember that's what I chose at the beginning, or if you chose Smart Campaign, setting everything up, going through the rest of the settings like you would for a Smart Campaign, just click Create Campaign and you're all set. So I do want to show you what a campaign experiment that we ran looks like. We did run one of these campaigns for one of the accounts that I work on. We gave it a $200 cost per lead, and this is the daily trending data that we saw. We ended up with about 2.2 million impressions, about 25,000 clicks, 6 conversions, $200 cost per conversion, just like it would be, and a $1,200 cost. Overall, you can see that we only paid anything on the days where conversions were registered, and we always paid $200 per conversion. But the days where we didn't get any conversions, we still got lots of clicks coming through and didn't end up paying a cent for them. So there are ways that you can use this strategy to either get conversions at the price you want, or end up getting free advertising across the Google Display Network. So let's talk through a couple just best practices I have for this type of campaign. The first suggestion I have for you is to set realistic target CPAs for your campaigns. If you have something that is far too conservative and you say maybe on average your account, that 100 conversions you got in the past 30 days, let's say your average cost per lead there was $150, but you set your target CPA for this pay for conversions campaign at $25, you're probably not going to get any traffic. You need to set a reasonable target cost per conversion, just the same way you do when you set up smart campaigns. You need to set up a realistic cost per conversion goal. Otherwise, Google will not be able to learn. It won't get any traction. It won't figure out who it can serve ads to and see some success marks. And it literally just won't serve your campaigns. It doesn't matter how broad your reach is. Google will stop serving your campaigns if your target cost per lead is too low. Keep that in mind. Make sure it is a reasonable cost per lead that you have set up. The next piece is to choose conversion actions that you will get some conversions on. I know that one of the big draws to this is to get free advertising, and quite frankly, that's one of my biggest draws to this type of campaign is getting advertising for free out of the GDN. But you do need to set up something that will get some conversions to come through. You can't choose some goal that's so obscure that you're not going to get conversions on display from it, even if you get them on search. Make sure that you're choosing something that will have some form of success. Yes, that means that you will end up paying for those conversions, but if you don't give Google some sort of positive feedback, same thing with having an unrealistic CPA. It's basically not going to serve your campaigns, and it's going to flatline on impressions, and it's basically not going to do anything. On the other hand, you don't have to have the main call to action that's on the landing page that you give. This is kind of my workaround for getting as much free advertising as you can while still giving Google enough data to work with. So let's say what you really want somebody to do is end up signing up for a free trial of some sort of software or service, something along those lines. That doesn't have to be the main call to action on the landing page that you serve people to, as long as they're going to, at a relatively high rate, find their way to that free trial. So what you're doing is sending somebody to a high value page. Don't waste their time just because you're trying to get free advertising. Send somebody to a page that is valuable, that you really want to get some eyes on, get some more volume through. But again, it doesn't have to be the most conversion focused landing page, because then you're gonna pay for more conversions. You'll have a little less free advertising out of it. That's kind of the line that you can draw, but do make sure that you set realistic cost per conversion goals and that you actually are going to get some of those conversions to make sure you're still getting traffic. But again, it doesn't have to be the easiest conversion that you want on that page. You don't have to set up page view goals or blog signups. You can choose a conversion action a little further down the funnel. Just make sure that it does have enough volume that over time it will feed Google enough to make sure that it keeps serving your ads. It's still a little bit crazy to me that Google lets us run display network campaigns without getting guaranteed ad spend out of us. They only get paid if we get a conversion, and then we get to set the price for that conversion, or otherwise the clicks and impressions are free. It seems a little bit nuts, but it is a great tool to use in pretty much every account that qualifies for it. Why not? You're either going to get conversions at the price you want, or you're getting free brand awareness across a number of different sites across the GDN. So hopefully the tips today will help you get the most of this campaign type and start seeing either conversions for the price that you set or free brand awareness. Thanks for watching our video. If you thought it was useful, give us a thumbs up below.
We release a new video at least once a week, so if you want to get notified of when a new one comes out, be sure to subscribe to the Paid Media Pros channel.